So if you take a look at the left-hand one, that was your before. And when we said, and you picked that yourself, for me, that ball just represents more of a kind of driver setup. Yeah. And as we saw with the first 8-10 shots you hit, you were catching the ground a little bit behind the golf ball. Yeah. The problem is if nothing gets adjusted with that setup, you will adjust either by sliding further left or opening up your shoulders to move to the ball. And then you're maybe improving the contact, great, but now you're changing your path, changing other things, and then the shot's going to be different. So maybe a better contact, but it's going to be left, right, and so on and so forth. So simple as it may seem, starting off with the feet there as you've got there now, and then just even then when you did that the first time, that to me is still a little bit further forward. And then we said, could go a little bit further. You went, really? And then you moved over. You were checking that, and then we moved. Did you move a little more, Mike? No. Did you move, Mike? I thought you moved.
I thought.
Oh, yeah, you did. There you go. Yeah, that's where it was.
Oh, I moved.
And then you moved a little bit. Yeah. So I just got at the start. You moved. So there was probably not much further forward than where you were, and then you shuffled over. Could you move a little bit more? Possibly, but I think if we move too much too early, it feels in your mind because what's happened. Even there, you're sort of because you're holding the club, you're kind of almost looking down this way, so your head and everything's over this side more because that's where the ball has been. This now feels in the centre of you because you've moved yourself slightly over. So in time, that will become something you'll get used to. Like I say, just putting sticks on the ground make a massive difference. Just sort of practice that, okay?
I won't wear a black pullover now.
That's fine. So we can still see us fine. So if you see your logo on your top, then you were sort of checking, it feels like it's there and stuff. Even that club isn't even hanging down straight. It's not straight. What's going on? So these are things that can easily kind of happen and go wrong if we're not careful, okay? So getting that ball position in the correct spot where you thought it was, and then just from that position there, once you set up here now, a little bit more than we want, but that's probably been created by the ball being too far forward, as you said. So that will slightly move back, I think, because the club waggled back. If we sort of, where's the club stop next to the ball? Hang on. You stop it next to the ball there. There. I would say, hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. For the club you've got there, that's fine. Because you're only going to have about sort of 5-10 degrees of forward lean there with a 4 hybrid. That's still the ball's still not launching too low when you're in it properly. So I wouldn't say it's excessively far forward with the hands. If it went any further, yeah, and I would say I'd rather see you, if anything, being too far forward than having your hands too far back, obviously. But just be something to be aware of. I think when the ball gets back more into the spot it wants to be, your hands aren't going to start wanting to keep going further and further forward to reach the ball because the ball's not there anymore now, yeah? So
the hands are too far forward, really?
I wouldn't say they're too far forward massively, really. I mean, they are forward of, say, normal would be with the hybrid potentially, but I wouldn't change it now. Where you're striking the ball there now, it's fine. Some people have a slightly further forward hand position, some are slightly further back. There's always a window where we can swing. If they started going outside your left thigh there, then yeah, we said it's too far forward. But it's more because the ball was too far forward. This angle here was greater because you were kind of leaning yourself to get to where that ball used to be. And I think, as we said, changes will happen sometimes without you even thinking about it. Once that ball was in a good position there now, as you went to the top of the backswing, good rotation now, turn that right out of the way, staying nice and centred with that top half. And then what is your trigger coming down? Your left hip now, left knee starts moving towards the target, okay? Is there a bit more rotation than maybe lateral movement? I would say a little bit. As you can see when you get into impact there now. Not too bad, clean strike, okay? You're starting to move that lower half around the corner, which we would say is going to happen anyway. So you never need to think about turning your hips, okay? But as you move to that left side, you end up in a good spot. Slightly back foot because, as we said,
coming up again.
You felt the ball was too far back because you think, well, hang on, this is not in a straight position. So your brain's still going to overcome that and go, hang on, I better get back here a little bit, okay? But I think a little bit more of that for you is finding your own feel from there. How do you get your left hip to move towards that target over there, you see? Now, whether that feels through your left knee, moving and sort of straightening, or through the ankles, or through your chest, whatever it means, whatever you feel you can repeat over and over again, because that's what, when you're on the golf course, when you're hitting shots, you want to be sort of focusing on.
So it's not just a rotation.
It's not rotation, no.
You've got to come across.
Honestly, so I tell you what, I would put good money on a lot of golfers not being able to swing a golf club flat out and not rotate their hips. Yeah, they put themselves in a blooming chiropractor. Yeah, your hips are going to move, I promise you. Yeah, and to get to the top of the backswing in now and then not move your top up and just let your arms swing past you. Very, very, very difficult, especially at full speed. Yeah, so we've got to think from your perspective a little bit more movement that way.
Yes.
As I said, to get to where that ball maybe used to be, but now in the ball's in the right spot, it hasn't got to be so excessive, yeah? But yeah, we can still move with the hip, whether you feel it from the hip, whether you fit from the knee or the foot.
People talk about putting the weight into the foot, don't
Yeah,
they?
some people are planting the left foot, some people are moving the knee, Nick sort of about his ankles. You've got to find what you've got to think, okay? So whatever you can sort of attach onto that feels consistent, that you can repeat over and over again, that doesn't require a lot of thinking. But strike-wise there, it's good impact.
Thank you.
Good position, yeah? Okay, wait, makes sense?
Good, yes. Thank you.
Very, very good.